Anyway, I'm going to talk about the hidden market. What are some of the problems we're having? It's so competitive out there. If you go to a foreclosure auction, there's so many people bidding up the prices that you have to outbid every other investor in this town to get the deal, and then there's no profit left. If you have a realtor that brings you pocket listings, you know, there's no such thing, in my opinion, as a pocket listing anymore, because they want to put it on the market because they get 50 offers. So if you want to buy a house, you have to pay above or over appraisal and asking price. So we have to find houses that nobody else knows about. It's the only way, and that's what the hidden market is all about. If you've ever been a foreclosure investor, your dream is to figure out who is going to be in foreclosure before the public knows. So I've spent years trying to figure out, how can I find out who's going to go into foreclosure before anybody else? And that's how I discovered the hidden market. But here's what causes those problems. Some people are not allowed to work ever since the pandemic because their jobs are essential. People are unemployed today. They don't even want jobs. I mean, how many help wanted signs? How help wanted signs? People are begging for workers, and nobody will take the job. There's people going through divorces. You know, the divorce rate is much higher now. Why do you think that is?
Too much time together.
Yes, that is exactly right. Because with the pandemic, when they made everybody work from home or stay home, then they realized, oh gosh, we're spending way too much time together. And then there's a lot of people dying. And even if they die from toenail fungus or whatever, it's COVID, isn't it? Yeah. On the death certificate, it says COVID. And then there's people filing bankruptcy. The bankruptcy rate is much higher in the past year. Why would you think that?
Less income.
I'll tell you exactly why. The foreclosure moratorium ended, and the banks are frantically trying to work with people to modify their mortgages. But if you're one of those that won't work, they can't modify your mortgage. So there's only one other way to keep your home, and that's to file bankruptcy. So the bankruptcy rate has gone up since the moratorium has been lifted, because that is the #1 competitor if you're a foreclosure investor. When I get 30 distressed property addresses, there is nobody in the universe has that list except me. I created it. You see, a lot of times investors will buy lists off the internet and send letters. But how many other people buy that same list and send letters? That's why you're probably not getting a lot of calls if you do that. But this, nobody has. And every month, if I got 30 this week, 30 next week, 30 next week, 30 next, I'm getting 120 distressed houses I could just keep pursuing. But I always get a deal or two as soon as I get home. I mean, one thing I've noticed is that there's so many people now with billboards saying we buy houses. There's so many people with radio commercials saying we buy houses. Television commercials, we buy houses. How many deals do they have to get just to break even? They're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on marketing to get deals, and they say, well, we're getting 10 deals or, you know, a week or whatever. But how much profit are they actually making? Remember Zillow about a year ago? They were marketing like crazy, but they ended up going broke because of spending too much on marketing and rehabbing, and they didn't have a good plan. So really, what I teach you to do, you're going to make tons of profit on one deal, your very first deal that you get after I train you will be mega profit. You don't have to do 15 deals to break even. I got a friend in North Carolina. He sends 35,000 postcards every month. 35,000. He has to do 10 deals just to break even. I would rather do one deal and make a profit than do 10 deals to say I'm doing 10 deals a month, you know? How many of you just want to make profit on one deal and maybe do one a year, one a month, one every 6 months, however you want to do it? That is good money, because I'm going to prove to you now that the hidden market produces profit of $100,000 per deal. Okay, I'm going to prove it. That's what I'm getting right now, today, in this market. Because all these deals that nobody else wanted because there was no equity, I would go the extra mile and call the second mortgage holder and negotiate a discount and create profit. So I always had this knack for beating the competition. Yes?
Who do you contact when you contact the bank about
The
that?
REO department. Now, if you can come to the Saturday class, remember I'm having a Saturday class, it's $49. I mean, you're going to learn a lot tonight, but just think if you have all day, it's a Saturday, and it's going to be where, Bob?
It's in Lexington, Lexington Town Hall.
Lexington Town Hall. $49, folks. I'm going to spend 8 hours teaching you the hidden market. Back then I would fax them. Today I email offers, and I'll be teaching you how to do that. And for everybody that attends that class, Bob, you can write this down, anybody that wants to write this down, I have a list, an Excel spreadsheet of every REO department I've ever dealt with. It's got their email address, their contact information, who to talk to, and all these different banks. And I'll give you that list for attending that Saturday class.